Hey, how are you? I really do hope you're well. I'm going to try something new today, and I've been doing a lot of videos and putting together my program and offering you the opportunity to come and work with me and work on your digestive system. So, when I was preparing some stuff today, I just had this inkling or this calling to do a little session for all of you who are watching this video. And the intention is that as we go through this, we're going to pick up, I'm going to do a kinesiology session for you. And we're obviously it's general, so we're going to pick up what the group need to hear and need to understand in order to do some healing. So the intention is if you're watching this, we're going to heal your digestive system. Okay. Now I've done a little bit of the testing already, obviously, to see how this would all work, but what's come up is really interesting and I think you're going to enjoy it. So sit back, have a cup of tea, and let's get into it. In my digestive program, I've got a whole lot of things that I can work through. I've got pages. I always have checklists, anyone who's been to see me before. So in this list, we've got looking at cleaning out your system, looking at the parasites, restoring and rebalancing the different types of food, and looking at the different parts of your digestive system and how they're all working. We've also got looking at what things that are causing you stress and how the cortisol that comes from stress might be affecting your digestion. So there's a whole list of stuff here. So it was interesting to see where the testing went. So the first thing that's come up and the main thing we need to look at is actually what I affectionately like to call the what. It's not the what, W-H-A-T, it's actually the what, which stands for the white adipose tissue. So it's basically our white fat. There's lots of different kinds of fat, and I won't go into it right now. But this is the adipose tissue, the visceral tissue around your main organs. And the thing that came up in my notes about that for you is it's all about the storage of the toxins. So something I want to explain straight away is what our body does. If we have toxic material in our body, and that includes toxic emotion, I'll explain that in a second, but all toxic material ideally should be eliminated and taken out of the body. But if you're not able to release or let go or eliminate those toxins, the body will take that toxic material and wrap it in fat in order to protect you from those toxins and keep those toxins away from any organs or any function of the body where they may cause harm. So if you've got too much insulin, your body can wrap up that insulin and store it. If you've got a lot of toxic cortisol levels, when we get too stressed, there's too much cortisol. So the body wraps that up and stores it in the visceral fat. So that's the first thing that's come up. And it did come up as the emotional toxins. So let me explain that a little bit. If you've got some anger or some fear, they will cause a certain release of neurotransmitters and hormones in particular. But the emotion is made up of those chemicals, and therefore they are floating around the body. And if you're not able to deal with them, process them, release them, and therefore eliminate them, and you suppress them, then the body again has to treat them as toxins and store them. Okay, so that's the emotional toxins and how the body stores them. So the way it came up is there's no acceptance of the emotions. So what I'm getting from that is if you're experiencing negative emotions like too much anger or fear or stress or worry or any of those kind of things, then and if you're not dealing with them really well, expressing them, then again, they have to get repressed, but we're not accepting them. We're kind of saying to ourselves, it's not okay for me to feel this way. I shouldn't get angry and I shouldn't, worry about this. And instead of dealing with it, we kind of judge ourselves, but we don't accept it. And again, we repress it and push it down into the body. So the testing went to some of my lists saying that it lingers in the thyroid. So that means it's getting stuck in here. So I always have to play around with the words. As I tested into that, what it was really showing me is that it's going into the throat chakra. So you'll see here on my chart, this is this blue area along here. This is the chakra related to the throat and this area. Now, often you'll hear the throat chakra is about expressing ourselves. And yes, as I said, if you're repressing your emotions, you're not expressing them. The other thing I often say to people in relation to the throat chakra, it's also about our shoulders. And I find that it comes up a lot for people about burden and responsibility. So if we put that together, then if we're not accepting and happily accepting our responsibilities in life, but we're seeing them as a burden, then that's bringing in all that negative emotion. So are you feeling burden from the responsibilities or the duties or just the workload, and maybe you're feeling overwhelmed. There's too much going on in your life. And the things that you're choosing to do, looking after your family, going to work, all of these things are turning into burdens, and you're probably getting frustrated with them. And then they become resentment. We all love our children and we want to be good parents. This is just one of the things that I see coming up a lot. But the love for our children actually turns into a burden, and we don't want that to happen. So this is a great way to stop and reflect and go, what am I doing about this? How am I truly feeling? Because the next little point that was highlighted was it's suppressing the immune system. So if you're going into a fight flight response, then your body's getting ready to fight and struggle with life. You're getting ready to fight or run away. We really want to just kind of go to bed and not have to deal with all these things because they feel overwhelmed and burdensome. And all of that then suppresses the immune system. You cannot heal, recuperate, and recover when you are in stress. That's really fundamental and so important for your health and your well-being. So the next little bit that came up is to do with what we call a miasm. I know most people don't understand. It's got to do with homeopathy teaching, but it signifies one of the core root causes, which I always like to get to. We want to get to the root cause of our stresses. And this indicated to me that what we're doing as a result of all this burden and overwhelm and responsibility that's causing a lot of this negative emotion and stress, what are we doing? We're trying to do more. Oh, I get it. I totally understand it. But it's not the answer. You think, I'm not good enough. I haven't done enough. I've got these, and these things. And then maybe your kids come home from school and they've got another problem, and you go, here we go. I've got to do more. So we push ourselves, we judge ourselves, we punish ourselves and go, come on. We beat ourselves up and we're going, we have to do more. So this is saying, no, 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 no. This is not the way to go. Okay. And then we got a whole lot of emotions. Literally, we're self-punishing, fiery, we're getting angry at ourselves. These emotions are internal. So we're longing for something else, but we're stuck in sorrow. We've got frightened, we feel put upon, then we become opposing. So we're fighting the situation or the environment because we are in that struggle energy. And that then creates within us this fight in life, this struggle in life, and the word, going into a defense. So we're not in harmony with ourselves anymore. We're pushing against ourselves. And then we go into this whole illusion with the word dreaming. That's kind of it reminded me a lot of one of the character structures. So it's how does our psychology affect our physiology? So I always do this with my clients. I'm going to do it with you. So there are all these character structures. These are all psychological archetypes, if you like. And this one is coming up. This is the stature of the endurer. So the endurer, if you look here, he's kind of heavy and solid. We tend to have broad shoulders. We need to kind of be strong and we need to be big and strong. So again, with our digestion and our, many of us are struggling with our weight, but this is where the psychology is telling the body, I need to be big and strong. Need to have more resources in order for me to be able to meet the challenges that are in my life. So if that's making sense to you, stay tuned. We've got some solutions coming up, but I love to get the whole story. This is putting us into a real sense of feeling alone. We tend to, if we beat ourselves up, we're going, come on, I have to do better. Instead of maybe looking around us and go, where can I get more help? Am I supported in life? Could I delegate some of this responsibility? We need to open up opportunities for where we could share some of this responsibility. Is it really all on your shoulders? So let's kind of calm ourselves down, step back and have a look at this whole picture. What am I truly choosing to do? And do I really need to take on all this responsibility? And do I need to do it today? Maybe I could spread some of it out over the next couple of weeks and months and just clear some of it out of my head. So I want you to think about those as some options. I went into measuring how much motivation is related to this topic and how much are we stuck in old patterns. So it tested up as 46% motivation. So that's kind of really only the tank's half full, but yet we're 100% stuck in what we call boredom. I'll share it with you. This is one of my emotional charts. And in the middle here, there's these two charts and it's motivation and boredom. And we look there for, is this balance right? Am I too stuck in old habits and old patterns? And do I have enough motivation and enthusiasm to think clearly and find better solutions? So we've got to change that balance because we're all bored and stuck and very little motivation and solution orientated. Okay, I'm going to just take a second and pause the video here, and then I'm going to come back and do the solution for you. Okay, we're back. I've done the correction, and a lot of that has dispersed much easier. I'm going to just, while you're watching, I'm going to check and see how the motivation is going now. So was it 46? It's now gone to 46 to 50 to 60 to 70 to 80 to 90, 100, 95, 96, 97. So that's a lot better. We've gone from 46% motivation to 97%. Now, the boredom, the old pattern of being stuck, I said was 100%. We've got that down to from 100 down to 50 to 40 to 30 to 20, 30 to 25, 24. Okay, and at 24%, I always check if that's appropriate for now. And my testing's gone, yes, that is more appropriate for you. The other little thing that I checked before I started was the amount of energy in your digestive system. And that was sitting at 16%. So that's not terribly good. So that's probably all this burden is making you feel tired and not enough energy to meet your tasks. Okay. So that now that we've cleared that, that's gone from 16 to 20 to 50, 50 to 60 to 70 to 80, 70, 75, 76. So that's quite a lot better. 76% energy in your digestive system. So the important thing here is to change around the heaviness that you're feeling in regard to your responsibilities and your duties, and look at what are the emotions that you might be holding onto that might be stuck in your white adipose tissue, so your white fat, and because those emotions are stuck in the fat cells that are stored in the body, those are holding you in an old vibration. So what I've done here is help to lift that up and get that old adipose tissue moving. We've got to get it eliminated, let it go, start rethinking how you're responding to and feeling about your responsibilities. Because you've chosen these responsibilities, or I hope you have. If you haven't, then you really need to rethink them. But if it's something that you are choosing to do because you feel you must and you've got no other choice, and I'll challenge you on that one too, but if you can put a positive spin on it, give yourself the time, give yourself the energy, and find the enthusiasm to come back into your tasks of everyday life. Okay. The other thing that came up is one of the little Bach flower remedies, and this is the impatience remedy. So that's telling us you need to find a little bit more patience with yourself and maybe patience with the people around you. But really, you need to come back to yourself first. So take care of you, and then you'll find your environment shifts and changes, as a consequence of you being kind and compassionate and loving to yourself. So I hope you enjoyed this little video and this little healing session. And this is kind of how I work. I tap into what are your blocks and constraints or limiting beliefs, as we say, and what can we do to turn those around, get a new perspective, and how can you be kinder and softer and more loving to yourself. So take care. I hope you've enjoyed it, and let me know what you think. Does it make sense to you? And let me know if you've got something out of it, please. I'd really love to hear your feedback. And if you like it, I'll do lots more. Okay, take care for now. Bye.